Hello and welcome to Andy's Airgun Review. Today I'm taking a trip down memory lane with the Webley Raider 12. I was interested in this latest offering from Webley, mainly because my first guns at the tender age of 14 were Webleys, namely the Webley Junior and the Mark III Springer rifle. As you can see, I still have the pistol, but sadly I loaned the rifle to someone and never saw it again. Since then I've owned many guns, but never another Webley. The company has changed greatly over that period of time, so how they have evolved will be very interesting to me. Now, this model is the .22 Webley Raider 12 pre-charge rifle and has a rather nice ambidextrous solid walnut stock which holds the plastic trigger guard and has a rubber recoil pad on the end, which on this particular gun is going to be quite useful, as we'll see later on. It has stippling around the grip and under the front of the stock, making it quite secure in the hand. Now at 3.4 kilograms, it's a nice comfortable weight with good balance to it. The trigger is two-stage adjustable item and was set quite comfortable for me straight out of the box. The cocking lever is of similar design to the Air Arms S510 and indeed the Viroc rifles. It has an initial spring on the first opening and a sure solid feel to the cocking action. Loading a 2.2 from the 12-shot magazine into the barrel then finally locked back into place, and they could easily have taken this from one of the previously mentioned rifles, and it is a quality item. The safety is also a fairly standard item. However, the thickness of the walnut stock makes the access to this somewhat restrictive and would benefit from a slight modification. The action of the safety is really good, but the restrictive access makes it difficult to give it the full thumbs up. It has a fill gauge on the end, which is nice and clear and indicates filling up to the red line of 200 bar. The gun also comes with the fill probe in the box, which slots into the 280cc cylinder simply by rotating the dust cover on the end. There is an interesting set of information on the cylinder showing the 10-year date and an interesting twist with reference to the user Manuel. Maybe that's for the Spanish market. There are standard scope rails along the top and should present no issues for most any scope you want to fit to it. I've fitted some medium mounts and access for the magazine was no issue at all. The model I have tested here is the unsilenced model and gives a real crack and this was pretty worrying, and I would have thought a silencer fitted would prevent any annoying of the neighbours, and of course scaring off any potential quarry. Well, then I ran it through the chrono test and I queried the results and then tested the chrono with one of my other guns and then retested the Raider 12 again with the same results. This gun was running over 14 foot-pounds, which is nearly 20 joules. Now for viewers outside the UK, this may not seem particularly concerning, but we have a strict sub 12 foot-pound rule here unless you have a firearm certificate, which incidentally I do have, but this was supposed to be a non-firearm certificated rifle. Needless to say, after a phone call to Karl at Draper's, this is going straight back to Draper's to be detuned or returned to Webley. That said, it shouldn't make a great deal of difference to the results in this review. Bearing in mind this gun is probably half the price of the equivalent day state, it is punching well over its price in both overall quality of build and accuracy. Whilst at 40 metres it wasn't pellet on pellet, it was giving very consistent groups on and off camera. Easily useful enough for small verming hunting over say 25 to 40 metre distances. You will need that silencer though. The magazine is loaded in an unusual way by turning it all the way round to load the first pellet. Being careful not to let the first pellet drop all the way through. Then you rotate it and drop each individual pellet in thereafter until the remaining 11 are in place. Now this is a little time consuming and fiddly, but very efficient, and with a little practice makes this more familiar, easier and quicker. The good news is you get 2 magazines as standard. Nice. There is one potential downside here, and that is because they simply drop into place, they are loose and can rattle. Not an issue unless, of course, you're trying to quietly creep up on your quarry. So don't shake it about. There are several versions of the Raider 12. The Raider 12, the Raider 12 Quantum, which comes with silencer, the Raider 12 Polymer, which has obviously polymer stock, and the Raider 12 Polymer Quantum, polymer stock and silencer. The above are available in both .22 and 177. The 177 actually carries a 14-round magazine. So how was my reunion with Webley after all these years? Well, very enjoyable, and a real pleasure to see them mixing it with the big boys and still keeping a reasonable budget. Well done, Webley. Hopefully you've enjoyed this review. If you have, please give us a thumbs up and of course feel free to share it with your friends. As always, there are more reviews being made currently, and if you want to get to see them as soon as they come out, then don't forget to subscribe, either in the link below or by clicking on the AAR logo on the screen at the end. Oh, and click on the alarm bell logo too for the new posting alert. And of course, here is a recommended review for you to take a look at. Well, that's it from me. It just leaves me to say thank you for watching, and of course a big thank you to Draper's for all their help and support in supplying these guns for me to review for you. Hope to see you next time on Andy's Airgun Review.